Hello.
Yeah, I just want to know like how the process was like for you applying for social or council housing in the UK.
I was just living at home with my mum and basically having some issues with my mum, so I was asked to leave. Actually, whilst I was still at home with my mum, I went to the housing office for that particular borough. Because of my circumstances, which is single with no children, I wasn't considered a housing priority, but obviously private renting is more expensive, and at that particular time, I think I just turned 19, I couldn't really afford it. But I did go to uni, so basically when I left uni, after the first year I didn't continue, I stayed with my boyfriend and I wanted to leave that relationship. So I went to other boroughs, the borough that I was living in with my boyfriend, and then London boroughs that I had a connection to. And I was told the same thing as I was originally, which is you're not considered a housing priority. So I wasn't even eligible to go on the housing list. So I just did my own research for, I don't even know who I was looking for. I was just looking for organisations that would somehow help me. I was given a list of hostels though from the housing office. So I was given a list of hostels, but I really didn't want to go into a hostel. So I kept the sheet, but I never called them because I didn't want to go down that path. I found an organisation, and I couldn't even tell you the name. I just know they was in New Cross, and this man, he was basically working as somewhat of a support worker for me. So he would actually come to the housing, like in Lewisham Borough at the time, he would come to the housing office with me and basically speak on my behalf and try to refer me to say, look, she's in need of housing. Didn't really get anywhere, but he really went out of his way to try and help me at least. So I continued doing my own research, and I found different organisations. I remember I found one in Woolwich, and they provide temporary accommodation, and then after a couple of years they give you a flat, which it would be social housing, but there's a waiting list to even get there. So it would start off temporary in a shared house, and then they would give you your own flat. But there was such a long waiting list that I'd already just moved myself into a hostel. So I referred myself to the hostel, and this one was in Westminster. It was a general needs hostel, and what that means is they didn't really provide much help with your plans to move on from there. It really just was like a stepping stone for you to have somewhere to stay, pay your rent, and then you could live there for up to 2 years, and then basically you figure it out from there. But there was another hostel across the road, and they were government funded, and they just had a bigger range of services that they provided. So there was a time where even though I was working full time, I did have to claim partial housing benefit, but it was all new to me. So it was a lady that worked at that organisation. They were called the Cardinal Hume Centre, and it was a lady there that helped me with that whole application process. And what happened was one day, I don't know, I just decided that I'm going to try one more time to see if, I don't know, maybe try and access social housing if I can. And I asked the lady that helped me with, she was like my liaison at the Cardinal Hume Centre. But anyway, I emailed her to ask for a referral letter to Westminster Council, because that's the borough the hostel was in. And she explained that because I haven't lived within the borough for 5 years and I don't have any connections to it, that I wouldn't be eligible for a referral. And then she said, however, there is a scheme with a local housing association where they are working, you know, like in partnership with the Cardinal Hume Centre to basically house eligible individuals. And I was like, are you sure? Because when I've been to, you know, the councils, the housing associations, they told me that because I'm single with no children, and also the fact that I work, I'm not considered a priority. And she said, actually, that's what they want. They want a single female with no children that obviously has a reliable source of income. So you actually meet the criteria. And I was like, okay. So basically, they called me at a convenient time to run through the application over the phone. And then I actually got an interview. Yeah, from there, it was in that interview that the man that would become my housing officer. It was basically like interviewing for a job, and he asked me, one of the first questions he asked me was, why should we offer this flat to you? And by this point, remember, it had been a few years now, I was just so tired, so emotional, that I just cried. That was literally my response. And he was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to upset you. And I was like, it's okay, it's just, this has been so long-winded and I'm just tired. But I told him, I said, look, I make X amount of money now. I've gone back to college. I'm thinking about going back to studying, but I'm not sure yet. But basically, I told him all the things I've been trying to do to help myself. He called me maybe like a week later to say, yeah, we're going to offer you the flat, but would you like to come and view it first? Because it is a studio flat. But I knew, you know, either way I was going to say yes, because it's not like they're going to go out of their way to offer me anywhere else. I just wanted somewhere. I wasn't too fussed about the size or, you know, anything like that. So, yeah, that was that. But as I said, that happened over a few years.
Yeah. So do you still live there now?
I do, but funny enough, I'm in the process of moving. That's why I was like, God, why is this girl calling me now?
Are you planning to move like to private or social housing? Or?
No, I'm actually planning to move abroad.
Where are you planning to move?
I'm going to move to China. I'm going to be working over there, so I kind of have to give up this flat.
Amazing. Wow. But you've lived there for how many years?
8 years now.
8 years, amazing. How do you find it so far? Like, do you like it there?
Yeah, it's been perfect for me. I mean, it's my first flat. It's been the perfect first start. When I moved in, I had a lot to do, decorating wise. Initially, I kind of resented it, the fact that I had to work so hard to get it up to a decent standard, but actually I learned to love it and make it my little home. So yeah, no, it's been really good. I'm really grateful for it.